All right, sorry about that. We are live here with the pregame for the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets game. And not quite sure how come my device won't do it correctly there. That's what I was trying to adjust at the start. But this is a huge game, as if Buffalo wins the game, they will have a 2-game lead in the AFC East. However, if somehow the Jets can win the game, the Jets will take over the lead in a tiebreak situation with the Bills. So this becomes just a massive game. And on the Jets side of the ball, yeah, they fired their head coach this week. I think it's a little bit of a premature decision, but when they do that kind of thing and then they promoted their defensive coordinator to be the interim head coach and the offensive coordinator got demoted so someone else can make the offensive play calls, it's really hard for the Bills to get ready for the game, number one, because there's so much going on, and it's really hard to see film on what this type of coach or that type of coach might like to do. So that's going to be one big problem. The other thing is that when a new coach is added to a team, the team tends to play with more of a spark. So history tells us that the teams play really well under their new head coach. So the Jets should come out with a spark and want to play for their new coach and show that firing their coach was not the right decision. And then on the Bills side of the ball, you know, it can't become, like I said, a bigger game than what it is right now. And the Bills are going to be missing James Cook. James Cook was a game time decision. It has been decided. He's not playing. And when you saw him walk into the stadium, he had a bit of a limp to him, and they had already called up Frank Gore from the practice squad. So, you know, you put 1 and 1 together or 2 and 2 together, and you realize that James Cook's not going to play in the game. So what does that mean at running back? Well, Gore's going to be the third string running back. And then Ty Johnson and Ray Davis will probably split carries, but I would go a little bit more with Ty Johnson. He's the one that can show or has shown and already been in the end zone this year and has shown some history. And I think that Ty will have a great game. He's playing his former team, the Jets, who we came to the Bills last season. And so it'll be a bit of a revenge game for him. He has played against the Jets and played well against the Jets in the past. So I think Ty Johnson could have a big game. So on to the other things with the Bills. I think I love Ray Davis too. Don't get me wrong. I think Ray Davis could have a big game as well. So who else could have a big game? Dalton Kincaid. I think Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox both need to step up. We need to do some more of those 2 tight end sets so that we can see if either one of those can really help our passing game now. With Cook out, we need to go some different ways. And we need to open the entire playbook because we're playing for the lead in the AFC East. This game means more than either of the last 2 weeks' games. You can put both of those aside. If we win this game, again, we've got the 2-game lead. So we need to really, really play well in this game. On the defensive side of the ball, you know, also on the offensive side of the ball, Shakir is back, and hopefully he has a great game because we certainly missed him last week. And Dawkins hates the Jets, so he's made that known several times. So I think that he will have a great game as well. On the defensive side of the ball for the Bills, he's finally starting to get a little bit healthy. Taron Johnson is back. He will take back his responsibilities at the nickel corner position and will move Cam Lewis back to the dime, where Jamarcus Ingram had a couple of really great games playing that. But I think that Jamarcus will probably take the backstage to Cam as Cam moves over there. Hello, String Dog Pop comic stuff. It's nice to see you here. We can't let the man cook today because James Cook's not going to be playing, but we'll let Ty Johnson cook, hopefully. Over to the defense, more on the defense. Ty Johnson, again, playing. We do have Terrell Bernard, as he was back last week. He'll be back playing. Obviously, we still don't have Matt Milano. Matt Milano, the Pro Bowl linebacker, just an unbelievable talent and player. Going to miss him for sure. Taylor Rapp back from concussion protocol, so we don't have to worry about if Cole Bishop is ready to go or if he's there or not. So, well, hello from the UK. Good to have you guys here. We can teach you a little bit about football. Watch the Bills. Become a Bills fan. On the defensive line, Groot had a great first game with 3 sacks in the game. I really need him to step up. And if Greg Rousseau, Groot, really needs to have a big game today. Epinesa, I'd like to see him get down more in his stance. When he gets down more, he really tends to blow up the offensive lineman and get sacks. Those are the games that he has the best game, is when he goes down low as he can. So, yeah, we'd like to see that. And in the defensive tackle position, obviously, we're going to miss Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver makes a big impact when he's playing down there. But Daquan Jones, my man right here, will have a big game for the Bills tonight. And Mr. Duke, who I call Mr. Bill, and he seems to like it when I call him that. He had a great game last week, and hopefully he can have another big game as the rookie gets better and better there at the defensive tackle position for us. Well, of course, I love Josh Allen. Who wouldn't love Josh Allen? So anyway, an Alaska follower, good job. Great to see you here too. And please hit that like button if you can, everybody. And maybe I'll make more videos like this before Bills games. But this is really one of my first lives before a Bills game. Just wanted to get on here, talk about some of the things we're going to be missing and some of the things that we're going to do well during the game. I do think that we will open the playbook more, and Josh Allen will run more tonight than we've been seeing during the season. You know, I think Josh has been holding back because it's a long season. You can't have him running, but this game means way too much. You've got to win the AFC East to make the playoffs, and, well, really you do. You can make it other ways, but here's a wild card, etc. But I want to win by winning the AFC East, which we've done, I forget how many years in a row. I think this might be playing for 5 this year. But, yeah, for those of you that are looking at the wall behind me, these are all autographed pictures from our current team. I have 50 of them up there, 50 individual players that I've met personally and got signed. So, yes, I saw the Detroit Lions. I for sure saw the Detroit Lions beat up the Dallas Cowboys, or the Cowgirls is what they looked like yesterday. But, yeah, the Lions are a good team. And I'm rooting for any team that has not won a Super Bowl. Of course, I'd like my Buffalo Bills to be in there first. But the Lions, the Vikings, etc., and other teams that have not made it to or won the Super Bowl, I would root for them as well. Love to have a Detroit Lions, Buffalo Bills Super Bowl this year. But that's putting things way ahead of the horse since we've lost our last 2 Bills games here against the Texans and whoever we played 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to put those out of my mind as we move on. As that other coach that used to coach the Patriots, don't really want to say his name, said, we're on to Cincinnati. Well, tonight we're on to the New York Jets. We're forgetting those last 2 games. I don't know how you can say it's the Cowboys' year, whoever just commented that. They looked awful yesterday, and they've looked awful in all 3 of their home games. Though they did beat the Steelers. And, yeah, all fans are welcome here. Cowboys fans, Lions fans, UK fans, everybody, please watch. And hit that like button for me, please. Please hit that like button for me. It helps the algorithm. And subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. You can come on here when I go live again. Penalties. You know, the Bills can't get bogged down by penalties, especially on their first drive. The first drive is going to make a big impact on this game. When the Bills have had great first drives and they've gone forward on 4th downs during the drives and they've made touchdowns, it really makes a big impact on the other team as they have to play behind the sticks, as they would say. And I really think that it's important for us to get out there on the first drive. I don't know who's going to win the coin toss, of course, but even when we lost the coin toss or deferred to the second half, that really helped us in the game against the Fish as we took down those Dolphins with the double dip. So anyway, I do like CeeDee Lamb. I am a fan of CeeDee Lamb's. I think he's a really, really good wide receiver. I hope that you are correct about the Bills beating the Jets. That would be fantastic. And I don't think that the Lions are fake. The Lions are a legit team. The Lions are playing really well. I mean, they had such a big lead yesterday that they were running fake plays to try to get their offensive linemen laterals and things to score. I think 3 different linemen were attempted passes attempts too. So yeah, the Lions are a legit team. Yeah, I hope Coach McDermott has a better time this week and the coaches do better than they did last week. The coaching at the end of the Texans game was brutal and really, really cost us in the long run. Using those timeouts and not running the ball to try to get to overtime, just bad coaching decisions that hopefully we can learn from. As again, we're moving forward and not trying to look back at those games. What about your Vikings? I love the Minnesota Vikings. I think they have a very, very talented team. I think that they've taken a quarterback that the Jets had totally given up on and most of the league had given up on and making him look fantastic. Of course, with Jefferson and Addison, you can look really fantastic as you have great wide receivers there. And I did go to Minnesota a couple of years ago when the Bills played, well, it was a few years ago now, when the Bills played at Minnesota and watched the Bills win that game there. What a beautiful stadium. I think that's the nicest stadium. And I've been to the Cowboys Stadium, the Seahawks Stadium. I love the Bills Stadium. I don't want to change a darn thing about it. I wish we weren't moving into a new stadium. But the Vikings have, in my opinion, the best stadium. I haven't been to Atlanta or some of the other new stadiums, but I love the Viking Stadium. It was fantastic. And I made a wrong turn while I was at the Viking Stadium and ended up somehow with all the Bills players down there with their families after the game. So that was fun. But I regress. Back to tonight's game. Aaron Rodgers, of course, he got hurt against the Bills in this game last year when they played in the Jets. Hopefully, we can keep that pressure up. I don't want to wish anybody getting injured, but hopefully the Bills do have pressure on Aaron Rodgers during the game. And I really, really think, don't spam my chat, please. I really, really think that Wilson with the Jets is one of the best wide receivers in the league that I have seen personally play. And I really think that he will have a good game tonight. And although Taron Johnson is going to cover him if he plays the slot, so that'll really help. I hope Aaron Rodgers gets sacked 5 times during the game. I think that would be fantastic. And Groot and Epinesa and Daquan, they're all going to have to get in there for that to happen. That'd be awesome to see that many sacks. The Lions will run the ball down their necks. Well, the Lions have two really good running backs. Aw, you think I'm beautiful? That's nice. Nice of you. Thanks. So with that, I wanted to go about 15 minutes here. We've got 40 people watching, but only 4 likes. If I can get a few more likes, maybe I'll keep talking for a few more minutes. But I've only got 4 likes, so let's try to work on that a little bit. Do I think the Bills will win tonight? Yes, I do think the Bills are going to win. I think it's going to be a very close game. The wind is starting to scare me. The wind is it looks like it's really bad out there from what they're saying in the pregame show. So if the wind's going to cause a problem, obviously that's going to affect the passing game on both sides of the ball. It's going to affect Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen, although they both have very strong arms and probably can penetrate that wind better than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. But it's going to then rely on your running game, and without Cook, that's going to hurt us. But really, I'm looking for a big game from Ty Johnson. I'm not a gambling man, But if I had some money, I'd put on Ty Johnson to have a big game today. So, yep, with that, I've gone about 15 minutes. I will say, as I always do, go Bills! And remember, God loves you, and so do I!